Hello, people. We are live from Argentina and several other places. Guys, we are online. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. I don't know. Today the names are a little bit small because we are too many at the streaming at the same time. So I'm going to take the opportunity to introduce the people. We have Bert. Say hi, Bert.
Hi.
We have Christian.
Hello.
We have C. Pedro. Hello, C. Pedro. No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is my sound
We
good?
have Janov.
Hi.
We have Jose Felipe.
Hi, hello, everybody.
Olá,
We
José.
have quite a few leaders tonight here.
We have what?
We have quite a few leaders tonight. We have Bert, we have Janov, and we have Jose and myself.
Yeah.
Oh.
4 out of 6.
What?
One future elite and two future ex-elites.
Future ex-elites? Why? Oh, you and me.
You don't believe in my retention for this race?
We are leaving soon.
Gonna be difficult, this race. For you.
I'm going to be in a comfortable 38, I think.
You will
So
be battling
now the race has started.
If Roland has made a deposit at Lat, so no start crash so far for Jasper.
Oh, he's overtaking. No, he isn't. It'll be interesting to watch. It's a very particular race because we don't have a champion yet. And we have a very interesting situation at Master 4 too, Christian. Christian is somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm watching in the corner.
He's somewhere else. He has his mind in his own race. Oh, we have a question for Christian. I think that as everything is set already, he can give a honest answer about this.
Tell me, yes, of course.
Can you see it on the screen?
Just a second. Oof. I don't know exactly, about 200.
200. Well, you had. I understand that you had quite interesting amount of motivation while Peterson didn't.
I don't understand. You think
that Peterson didn't have motivation. He had zero motivation at the start of the season.
Ah, yeah. This season was...
Flo, can you maybe put on the screen the list of the current standings, because I can't really see the order based on deliveries. So the current standings of the elite race. Yeah. Thanks.
Hugh is leading, with Jasper following from second.
And a killer start from Jose. Jumping from 9th to 5th.
Could it end the race like this, please? Now?
What?
If the race can end, the result can be this one.
Where are you, Jose?
I will save myself. But unfortunately, no. It's only this
3-4 laps, and then I'm going down.
It's
Where are
like
you? Oh, I see your car. Are you after Roland?
Yes, he is fifth. He started on 9th position after me, and he went straight to 5th at the start.
Yes, I see the special one livery behind Roland.
Yeah. But now it will begin to go down. Don't worry, Bert.
Not before building some interesting train there. Hello, Kamal.
we can have up to 10 people right now. Or
Yes.
don't. So theoretically, anyone can join. Just
Yes,
a little shout out to everyone.
Does anyone know what year is this circuit?
What?
This track. Do you know the circuit? How old is it?
Oh, it should be very old. I remember from the early times I follow F1. It has an accident with someone who get hit by the extinguisher, fire extinguisher, something like this. The page of the game. This information.
Cuba said he started with 40 motivation. Hello, Cuba. Why aren't you at the streaming tonight? It will be a very interesting race. A pity that he doesn't want to join.
He doesn't want to be seen crying on internet.
Well, class is cheering for you, Chris.
Yeah. This was a Pete's question about motivation.
Peterson, yes.
I can look a little bit closer, but just a second.
My hands are cold. It's winter in here. My hands are getting cold. It's not that I'm unhappy because things are challenging in the race. It's that I'm cold.
Oh, Flo, you're only 40.
We have at the streaming or at the chat everyone who has a chance of promotion at Master 4. That's going to be an interesting race too. Maybe at some point we can switch. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I think early Elite doesn't look too exciting, to be honest.
Maybe
we can go
switch.
back when Jasper gets a tire puncture. Let us know in the comments whenever Jasper has a tire puncture.
That would be interesting. Por Jasper.
No championship without some sweat.
Okay, in Master 4, we have class leading comfortably. That has been frequent this season.
Yeah.
With Christian following in
Also
a very
free.
good position for promotion. Olaf, Tony Soirinki, Etienne Castellain, and Cuba on 6. He's in the points. That's good for him. Theo, Marko Radokovic, and Dominic on 9th. Dominic is fighting for retention, so he's not in points position, so it'd be a hard race for him. And Peterson is 12th. You're silent tonight, guys. You're too focused on your races, I believe.
Yeah.
It's the last race. It's very important for most of us. Yes.
Yeah. Yes,
Well,
exactly.
I think actually for most it's not important anymore. Don't think Flo, Jan, or me have anything to win or lose.
Okay, so last move.
May I ask when Bert and Jan are going to carry Dede to a title? I don't know what that means.
That we
Do
help
you
him
need
or not.
to push him in direction of a title? How is that?
Well, we will push him, but not gonna say it will be in the right direction.
But he is strong. He promoted along with me from M3 next last season, and he was very strong all season long, and this season too. He will be champion, I think.
He'll eventually be champion, you say?
Yeah.
If he doesn't fuck up.
So subtle.
But I believe Hugh is very strong for next season title.
Well, in the Oscars, he was nominated by Harsh as next champion. So there's a few people that have faith in him already. A pity that Harsh is his double account, so it doesn't count.
Well, self-belief is also good. It can help, so. But I think it's between him and George, so we will see. I hope that it doesn't come down to randoms. And I think that it's played into his hands that Jasper and Roland spend a lot in their fight. I saw that Roland went 11 million negative, and he started the season with lots of money. And Jasper also did, I think, a 23 million upgrade. Not sure if that was necessary with 9 points, but probably didn't want to risk any smoke or so he replaced most of his car. I think it's not ideal to spend this much close to season end. I think the Bridge Rock guys are all pretty broke at the moment. Elite is generally pretty broke. I think this was an expensive season, and I think next season Test Track is also pretty expensive. So I think we will see some bankruptcies in the near future. So gonna be fun.
From
I'm
all
gonna
four.
I'm gonna watch that from Master. It's a bit more comfortable.
We started with 4 title competitors, all 4 on Bridge Rocks. I had least money at the start, and the end of the season I now have the most money and the lowest points, but yes.
To be fair, Bert gave up race 5.
Race 10. If you look at without my random at race 2, my double random, I would
We
have been
gave you up
leading
race
after
2.
race 9. I still would be leading in the standings after race 9. After that, I was destroyed.
Yeah, your driver is getting too old.
Yeah, some noob advised it to me.
Ethan, didn't say that we are going to have 40 people next season in Elite because everyone is broke.
And I'm gonna join. I know how to use PP.
Oh, we did this at the right time, Jan.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to take it easy. I started this season, I was, I think, 35th in money. I was pretty broke, and then a few races later, I was up in 8th or so. But yeah, I think I will be pretty exactly at 50 million, so no tax, no money wasted.
Yes, I'm going to be at 45 million or so after the race. Again, not paying tax, but I did spend a lot on the car because I didn't have anything better to do with the money. To be honest, I had 100 million at the start of the season.
I am a bit annoyed. I had to activate a sponsor that had been attacked, I think, 63 races ago, and my opponent reached 89%.
So you had to activate.
Yeah, I mean, he was only averaging 5% in the last races, but maybe he tried to fool me and go 5% to make me feel safe, reaching 90, and then go hard in the last race. So if anyone, wait, I have to check which sponsor it was. So if you haven't realized it, I activated it at 1832, so you waste some more progress. Because I'm annoyed I had to activate it.
Want to say hi to Carlos Gregoret and Hugo Cáceres, who are my fellow countrymen and are saying hi from the chat. Hi there, Argentina. And we have Luca waiting to join, but I thought that the StreamYard studio was updated and admitted 10 people, but it tells me that I cannot add him. So we have Luca outside of the streaming. I'm sorry, Luca, that I cannot add you. I can see his face from here. I'm going to add him later. If you guys are okay with it, I'm going to take out one of you and I'll look up for a while.
I'm okay.
You okay, Pedro? You haven't been talking a lot.
No, I have sound problems. I think you hear me well. I'm hearing you well now, but my plug is not very good. I have to fix it.
Your microphone is it's not the best tonight.
Yeah, it's the test went well, but not the real life.
It happens.
I have a question for Zé Pedro.
Ask.
You are in Mozambique or in Portugal? Zé? He's not listening.
He has some delay, I think. Zé Pedro? Are you still there?
Maybe you can ask him in the chat. We have a private chat here too.
In the private chat, maybe he answers.
Okay.
I think he's having some difficulties to listen to.
Finally, I'm not the person for once that has technical difficulties. Saying this, I will probably disconnect any second.
Well, that test didn't go quite well during the week.
I only lost connection 2 times within 45 minutes. This is a quite good statistic, and I was back within a few minutes. I can live with that. for my standard.
I'm going to remove Pedro. It's a pity because he was he's not the only rookie, but we have Luca too, but he's the only newbie that we have tonight. I wish
Pedro is very active in the forum.
He's very active in the forums, yes.
Yeah. We need
Is internet that bad in Holland?
No, but in my house is.
Holland. Oh.
Mozambique was better.
Oh, he says that the problem is in his house. We believe it.
So which countries are you all sitting in? So Flo's in Argentina. Bert, you're probably at home too.
I'm in Portugal.
Yes. I'm in Belgium.
I'm from Croatia.
I'm in the Netherlands.
Germany.
No.
Argentina, of course.
But Zé Pedro is Portuguese, right?
He chose to.
Do you hear?
Yeah. You are, right?
I am what?
Portuguese.
Yes, yes. I was Mozambican. I still am, but I don't have the documents valid. And yeah, I'm Portuguese. I moved to Holland, to the Netherlands 1 year and a half ago, so more or less. So I'm in the Netherlands.
We have two Portuguese here.
I started with the Netherlands flag, then float. I was in an African forum talking about African Cup, and the flow changed me to Mozambique without my request, but it was nice. I don't care. I could have one of 3 flags right now, Portuguese or Dutch.
He said he wanted to be part of the cup, so I changed him to Mozambique.
Yes. I was asking if I could.
He was asking
from the Netherlands because people move, but don't change. They can change. But yes, it's a detail that I like. That's where I was born. But my nationality is Portuguese.
So given we have so many people from different countries here, how's the current corona situation in your country? So regarding lockdown?
Fully. The stream is reloading. My connection is bad.
Yeah.
A pity. Don't worry too much about it, Pedro. We have a question, people. I don't know if any one of you want to answer. How's the coronavirus situation in your country? Was the question?
Oh, sorry. In Portugal is not bad. We have only one city, which is Lisbon, the capital, which is not so good. But the rest of the country is okay, and things are outside Lisbon are pretty back to normal now.
Cool.
So in Germany, it's actually, I think, compared to many other countries, we are more back to life. But we had it's only a few kilometers from me. We had an area where there was a meat industry, 10 years, who had, I think, 1,500 people in only one company nearby. 1,500 corona cases, so they immediately shut that down and also made the local lockdown for that area. But this means you can still go outside, but there are no public events, no going to restaurant. You can go outside alone or two people, or if you are within your family, can go out on a run or whatever, but no group meetings. And but luckily, I'm a few kilometers behind the border of that local lockdown. So yeah, for example, if you wanted to travel to another area in Germany, then nobody would take you and give you a room or even kick you out if you were already there. That was a bit annoying for those people. And also there were many cases where people with that I don't know what's called the sign that is on your car on the back, which shows the local area you're from, and if it showed GT, which is the area that had a lockdown, then people destroyed your car because you left your local area and something like that.
Whoa.
Because you yeah, I mean, there was no, you were allowed to leave your area because some people had to work, and if all people in that area stay at home, then in other areas people there are people missing that have to do their job. um, but yeah, it was, I think, pretty annoying time, but it was only for 2 weeks at least, and now the lockdown has been ended, I think. There was another district that had 1 week of lockdown, and after that it was fine again. But I think now everything is okay. I'm also back to university right now. I have some sports courses, but most, I think about 98, 99% of the university is still via Zoom meetings, but there are a few exceptions. So exams will be present in a few weeks. They will be written in the gym and in the mensa where you eat. And yeah, I have some sports courses, but everything else is from home meeting.
You're a sportsman.
Yeah, I'm studying sports and physics, so
Physical education.
yeah.
Cool.
Where are you from? Which part of Germany?
I'm living nearby Bielefeld.
Don't
There's
know.
always a
West.
joke. Usually, when I say that there is a joke in Germany that Bielefeld doesn't exist, that I hear 1,000 times a year. But maybe it's a German thing. Once even Jasper told that to me, and I was so annoyed that I just didn't respond it, and he was like, "Aren't you surprised that I know that?" And I was like, "No, I hear that all the time."
It gets old easily.
Well, I mean, he's isn't living that far of me. I think Jasper's probably like 200, 300 kilometers away, so it's actually not that surprising. He knows.
Entire Belgium is only that far away.
Yeah, I think Bert and Jasper are probably almost neighbors.
Yeah, we are one big village.
Close. That's really close. We got Se Pedro back.
I really, I'm having streaming problems, and this thing is saying me. I better use Chrome, but sorry, I'm not changing the browser. The coronavirus here is stable. Do you hear?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Ah, it's
We can
back.
listen
Okay.
to you.
No, my connection is very bad, but I will try. Is stable to the low side, very few deaths daily. So it came down like from more than 100 on average at 200 to 10, 20, something like that for quite a while. And there was never a total lockdown, like everybody could go out, but many things closed. big shops, only supermarkets and other business were open. But after 1 or 2 months, when things start open, it's not 100% open, but everybody can go work and go out. There are very few places that you need to use a mask unless you work close to another person. We follow rules, obviously, and there are fines if you don't follow the rules. So it basically it went up fast and went down slowly but steady. And the things there are people complaining that it's too much. We have to release more. We have to work like small business that is more like that. But yeah, it looked bad, but not now.
Okay.
Well, in Belgium, we have now similar things as in Germany. We have had a lockdown, we have restrictions, how many people you can see and everything. But we came in news with the worst numbers of the whole wide world. But that's because Belgium has a strange thing. We count the corona numbers differently than all other countries in the world, namely all possible deaths may be caused by corona. So even if they died because of something else, they count towards the deaths from corona. So we have the worst death case per population in the world, but we count differently than everybody else.
So basically, you're doing the opposite of Trump.
All the rest.
Actually, the opposite of everybody else. So many
Yeah.
countries even say that Belgians are not allowed in their country because we have such bad numbers, but that's because we count differently. Yes, so actually it isn't that bad here, but yeah, everybody thinks it is.
How many cases did you have overall, or how many current cases do you have approximately?
Don't know the numbers by head, but I believe we have the Belgian way counted 20,000 deaths. But every people in the retirement homes, every old people just dying of old age, they count towards corona.
Do you think this is a very smart way to count that? Or would you prefer it to be like in every other country?
Well, some people actually said Belgium was the mirror of the rest of the world because other countries just ignore all the retirement homes deaths, and all other countries have to adapt their numbers upwards, and we will be the only country that have to adopt their numbers down. So it's a way of counting, but you have to know the reason behind it, and that's they try to be rather careful, but that's the way we do it. Politicians.
Politicians.
That Juk have written in the chat that he heard your voice for the first time ever.
Who said that?
Juk said that in our.
Ah, yes.
So I also I don't know. He's much younger and fresher than I always imagined him from his profile pic.
Yeah, we have a profile pic, but I have a nickname in the team, and I'm named after a personage from the Big Bang Theory. And so I use that picture of him, so everybody thinks I'm more than 50 years old, which I'm not.
Well, the corona situation here is a bit different, especially because we are in winter here in Argentina, so we are picking. We're picking every day. The lockdown is almost full in the metropolitan area of Buenos Aires. The metropolitan area of Buenos Aires is quite big. It's around 50 kilometers around Buenos Aires. I'm just at the limit of that. In reality, I'm 80 kilometers from Buenos Aires. But 80 kilometers, sometimes it's considered metropolitan area Buenos Aires. Here in my city, we have a milder lockdown. Most of the shops are open, but it's only the shops that are open. Then the rest, it's the same like in the rest of the country. You need to go to the street with a mask. You cannot be in public without the mask. You need to only go out from home to go to the shops to buy groceries and what you need for your family. And then people don't go to work. Those that are not essential workers that are needed physically at their jobs are not going to work. We have a case here at home. My husband is working from home. He has been working from home for almost 4 months now. Because the lockdown here started pretty early. And then in Buenos Aires, the things are a bit more strict. Not all the shops are open. There are only the food shops and the pharmacies, and those kinds of shops are open. The rest are not. For example, clothing. Those shops are not allowed to open. Here they are allowed to open at my city. And this is going to last. We don't know yet for how long.
Yes.
We are not still, we are not considering opening up things again. There are some things that are being planned towards professional sports and Olympic sports. They are trying to allow them to train again, especially those who are not practicing contact sports. But for the rest of the activities, there's not yet a protocol to go back to activity. So things are pretty uncertain, and living here is a bit hard these days. I haven't seen my family for 4 months now. I mean my birth family, no? You know, I live with my husband and I see him every day. But I haven't seen the rest of my family for 4 months now. I don't know.
We don't know
That's
when
hard.
it's going to change.
We don't know when that's going to change.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to leave now. It was good to be here with you all, but now I have to leave. Okay, so enjoy.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank
See
you
you
for
next time.
being here.
Bye, Jose.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Well, Luca left for dinner, but if he comes back, we are going to add him now that Jose left.
This gives Bert a bit more space to advertise his haircut.
Actually, it's my wife's done by my wife for the first time ever.
Is she a hairdresser or is she just doing some experiments with you?
She's a nurse.
Therefore, it's very good. I think if she can get in some more practice.
Yes, she did it also with her own father. So yes, she had some practice.
I remember when in Germany, I felt like people were most annoyed that hairdressers were closed, and there was a run on getting appointments to get your hair cut, and it was like booked out for 3 or 4 weeks. I think I actually had the first appointment, so this was basically not a haircut was the new status symbol, like Lamborghini. You didn't have to run like a zombie. That was a bit annoying. You have to wash it, and it takes twice as much and costs twice as much.
For the race in Elite, because people are asking for the fight between Roland and Jasper, I've been following the race, and Roland has been doing a longer first stint, and that's why you've overtaken Juk, and now is first, and Jasper only fourth. If more people can get in between, or Jasper runs out of energy of some kind, it can become excitement.
There's a little hope.
Well, not for me. I'm
But I don't
already
see
fourth.
anyone behind.
No,
For Roland.
nobody close. But if it's a non-race ending random, it can become crucial.
Might even have enough gap. Flo, can you put on the times on the screen again?
We can, of course. Oh, Edwin Silva is pretty far from Jasper.
Yes, but he's retaining with this position, Edwin
Yeah.
Silva, and I think Dimitroglu also will retain because Sagatas has one stint more, so he's gonna take 2 points, and I think he will retain with that.
Deep standings.
You need 1/7 is enough, I think, because Igars is negative and he will stay negative, so 26 will retain.
Yes, but if Dimitroglu gets another point, he gets 2 points, and then we have 2 points until 28th position.
Johannes already has. Does he have a point already? No, he doesn't.
No.
No, he has 0 points.
Yeah, I think that Robin had 2 7s, and I think Maxime also had 2 7s.
Yeah, so with his 6, he would retain.
Yeah, with the 7s also. At the moment, 7s would be just enough and kick out Maxime Egorov.
Yes, indeed.
Interesting fight at the back.
Can you imagine Giannis outside of Elite?
It's hard to imagine. It's really hard to imagine, yes.
I remember when Rimantas had to leave Elite, I think for the first time ever, and he had to get used to limits and management of overall and stuff like that. But I think he adapted quite well, so he's in good shape now. And will also push next season, I think.
We'll see.
Do you think Jasper will go for the double? Try to
I think
push
he will.
again?
He will try.
I mean,
Yes.
George is his teammate, I think. He has a very strong package, 236 overall driver, also good money, good sponsors. So would be a team in turn battle, but why not? But I think George has definitely the better package than Jasper because now he's suffered a bit from all this overspending financially. Probably also the match isn't ideal, but yeah, okay, I think you can probably align this season so that you are doing well at the beginning of the next season. It should be okay, but financially, it's not ideal.
It sounds like we are going to have a few interesting candidates next season then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very tough competition once again, maybe even tougher than this season. So gonna be fun to watch. Roland going for a first attempt. Looking at his final expenses, I don't think so, but
I think Roland's gonna take PP and relegate.
this I can't even less imagine.
Well, but he has quite quite some interesting amount of sponsor income at this moment. I don't know if maybe he can sustain another season this expensive or not. Who knows?
Anyone else fighting for championship? I forgot. I think maybe some master promoters that try to grab a driver from the market and push immediately. I think Joachim Rang is also developing a good driver.
Yes, but his funds are too low, I guess.
Yeah, he burned a lot of money with his bridge rocks in Master, which I don't really get, but I'm pretty sure he could have promoted on Yokos and promote with a pretty nice. I mean, he still had a nice balance despite bridge rocks. He could have probably promoted with, I don't know, 170, 160 million.
Like Klaas is doing now.
Yeah, I think he has also been doing a very good.
Harsh thinks that Glass might do well right away at Elite, but I think he's a driver, so
I have to take a look at his package. Which master group is he?
Master 4.
This is your group too, okay.
But the fact that the driver might need some more seasons of development is what makes me think that he won't be pushing to be
I mean, if you prepare such a driver, 210 overall means that he has been training his driver pretty much all the time. Otherwise, you don't get to 210 in master. So, I mean, let's check his driver's age. He's 30, so this is very young, so he could easily train him 2 or 3 seasons. So I guess this is what he's going to do, unless there is some really nice driver out there, but then he will also go expensive. And I mean, he has 774,000 salary only, so I think it doesn't really make sense to replace this driver. Could be championship material in 2 seasons, quite cheap. So I don't think that he's going for it immediately. But his money balance is very, very nice indeed. Probably gonna end with 180, 185 maybe.
Tex is gonna be happy.
the Texan is going to be happy. We have a question here from Harsh. He's asking, why is Elite more competitive all of a sudden?
I think people are getting more prepared and getting adopted to the way PHA matching works. So that might be it. More people are preparing themselves better.
I don't think it's sudden, though.
Well, mine was sudden. I accidentally promoted.
No, well, you thought you were not in shape to promote, but I understand that in seasons prior to that particular season, you were planning to promote that season.
I was planning to promote with a driver that I trained. I got a new one with more money, with more sponsors. So all that was ruined. But yes, somehow I retained in Elite, and I tried and pushed and failed.
And failed.
How many times did you change your season goal between retaining, promoting, and relegating in your master promo season?
Quite a lot, actually.
I think there's always switch between retiring, relegating, retaining, and promoting after every random.
That's an inside information question.
I think my plan changed way too much. I think 10 times a season. That was after every random. I thought, well, no, I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer, get some money. But the competition was doable, so I still tried. But after the third random, I said, no, I'm not gonna promote. I even spoke with other guys in M5 so to let them pass. But even I won a race in Master on 20 clear track risk.
I
So I had no
remember when you
choice.
desperately tried to. So Bad always lost when he tried to win, and he always won when he tried to lose. um, but
Even the last race, I had to finish out of the points. I was riding seventh with zero clear track risk in the last race. But then my car started smoking, luckily planned. So I ended out of the points. But the other guy who had to get 2 points ran out of energy and got 0 points, and I promoted.
so this is what you call a confident, consequent, executed promo championship preparation. But yeah, I think now are you happy that you decided to go for it, or do you, if you would be going 3 seasons back, would you do it differently?
Still probably would end up the same. The only thing, I don't think I would change anything actually. Even would pick the same driver for this season and even would try to push.
Do you
Just,
think you overpaid on your driver?
I think underpaid probably. I think others agree with me.
I think that was a bug on the market. I think that driver was only visible to Baird. It had like, I think with full motivation at that point, it was Dimitri Nechtailov's former driver, and he failed with his PB Rally retention push on, I think it was Avus.
Yeah, it was a favorite track.
Privatic in a minute.
Okay, Verita Flow. No, but I think, yeah, after that, he dropped him on the market, and with full motivation, he would have been 237, 236 overall, and he just went for min offer to Baird. And I was like, go 3.5 million. This is your opportunity. And then Baird got him for min salary.
Yeah, we were thinking about spending 3 million on that driver, and I got him for 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Yes, he was old, and I knew he was going to retire in the season I was trying to push, but nobody wanted him.
Yeah, I mean, he had what aggro? He had like 200 aggro, something like that. It was
I
pretty
believe
nice.
180 or something.
Yeah, 185, something like that, I think. But yeah, then I remember I tried to sign the driver you dropped on the market the race after, which was complete trash compared, and I got outbid twice. I dropped an offer 20 seconds before deadline, then Robin Gooday came over the top 15 seconds towards the deadline, then I came over the top 5 seconds before the deadline, and then Robin deleted his offer and did another 1-2 seconds and paid 100k more salary. But no, I'm actually quite happy that I didn't get him, because then I would have probably tried to retain on Yokos, and I think with the current competition it might have worked, but I don't think this would have been a good way to better your package, because currently I really think it's very hard to make any profit in Elite with so many people spending so much money. It's definitely a losing game with people bringing money from lower tires and spending it. So if you don't, you try to prepare a lead from the inside, it's difficult.
Well, it used to be easier the seasons before this season because you only had 3 or 4 people actually with premium tires and pushing, or actually two even. The first title of Jan was Jan versus Nevzat, and for the rest, nobody else was taking premium tires, and you could retain easily on contis or bad years. But now we have four bridge rockers who are taking away almost every point, so it gets rather difficult to retain and costly. But still, I want to see more premium tires like it used to be. I've searched in history from standings, and you see 20, 25 people with premium tires, all different ones. Now, all title competitors have to choose one tire, and that's it. Something should change about the tires, but yes, who am I?
Well, maybe we are going towards that, but I think they also made them more expensive. So I remember that when I joined the game, then bridge rocks were priced 7 million. Now they are 8.5, and Mishis are probably now a bit inferior again. But they are probably still okay if there are a lot of bridge rocks because of the qualifying advantage. But
Well, that's not entirely true anymore. You used to be faster with Michis because of the qualifying with the warm-up time, but now with the PHC matching, despite the tires, it's the PHC matching that decides the order in the qualifications, not the tires anymore. Look at the temperatures. It's a cold temperature today, and who is all in front in the qualifying? All the braid rocks. Even I am there, and I lost my season plan after race 10, and I still get in front because my PHA matching is still rather okay. So it isn't the temperatures that it decides the who gets more benefits. So it's the PHA matching. So I think something should change about the tires.
yeah, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure if you would put Mishis to one warm-up bar instead of 3.
Well,
Probably, or maybe make him a bit cheaper, make Hancock's a bit cheaper to make to reduce the gap between Badger and Bridge Rocks.
well,
So
I have a proposition to get something more aligned for the PHA matching to get the tires also connected to it. Then bridge rocks would stay the same, maybe up the temperature for the optimum temperature with 2 degrees back to 32 degrees. Michis keep the same but little at lower cost. Hennies also, but with one durability bar extra. And Badger actually make them a bit cheaper but remove one dry bar.
but I think, yeah, well, then we would make Badgers like they used to be in the past, and nobody picked them. So I like actually the adjustment of Badgers because it's brought them into play. But I don't now. I think that Dunlops need some adjustment. I mean, they tweaked Yokos a bit, but I don't think this will change anything. I had to laugh a bit at the topic nerf Yoko's hard. Also, there was a little bit of truth in it, but I think it's probably more the other tires that might need some adjustments. So there is
I
more.
agree.
Yeah, I think for me an idea would be to reduce the warm up of Dunlops to maybe 2 bars. So they would be in a contrast to Badgers. Badgers have the rain performance, they have a bit more durability. Peak temperature is similar. They both have 5 dry bars, so they are not taking each other in that terms. But then you could decide: do I take Dunlops and have better qualifyings, or do I take Bridge Rocks for a bit better race performance due to
Exactly.
better rain performance and better durability?
What about the price range, Jan?
I
If
think
you're going to make the Dunlops competitive compared to Badgers, maybe you need to raise the price, and you get even less competition for Yokos.
Then we should
I
make something use of Avon. What's the
I
point of
So
those?
Avon is
don't
just
nerf the
it's just
Yokos.
there for the decoration. It's just I've
Add,
never seen any useful thing for Avons.
if you only add one dry bar, it could actually use something.
I
Because then you
still
have
even with one driver more. I mean, this this is a one big push tire, where your one big push means that you are not sucking as hard as usual. I mean, Conti's, look, if you compare it with Conti's, the most famous one big push tire, then you have 7 dry bars, so you have 2 bars compared to Dunlops. Or if we take Yoko's as the main tire now, I think even a Master, then you have 3 dry bars more, and I think 11 degrees on top of that. You have even more, you have way more durability. So if you can manage a proper qualifying, then you have a huge advantage. And now compare that with the one, then they have 2 drivers, I think. So you are losing most of your temperature advantage already. You have a bit more durability, but you're compared to Conti's, you have much less advantage. You have almost no advantage over Yoko's unless it's very cold.
Well, you have 30 degrees difference, so actually in cold temperatures you have more difference with Avens than you have with Contis. So if you would add one dry bar, then actually you have the best durability, the same as Contis, or even better, don't know.
I think Avons are performance-wise probably similar to Dunlops and Badgers. So this means that you have basically a Badger or a Dunlop in cold, and you completely suck in every other race, so you don't even have an advantage. And if you have a package that you can retain with that, then you can just pick Yokos and try to be more consistent. I think this is better.
Oh, it says that Ewan had a random.
Did Jasper pit, or how did he end up in fifth?
He pitted for the second time. That's why Gonzalo only pitted once. That's why he's in front of him. Oh, Silva is out, random.
Oh, he completely out. He was retaining. That was his retaining race.
Mm-hmm.
This is mean.
This is bullshit.
He was. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine how he feels now. He will probably now consider retiring and then talk himself out of it. But yeah, I mean,
just to rewatch the race, there wasn't even smoke, so yes.
Yeah, this was a tire puncture.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Marshall.
Hello.
Did I hear Edwin got a random as I was coming in?
Yes. Yeah, he got a tire puncture, and he was about to retain.
Yeah, that's very disappointing.
And now he's relegating.
Oh. Well, we're hoping that Jasper can avoid the same fate.
Yeah, imagine last lap, Jasper tire puncture.
Oh, really?
then we have some.
I haven't seen anything
storm-breaking rules in the forums. As tire punctures seem to have very much, they are very popular recently. Whenever they occur, we have a discussion incoming in the Elite forum.
Yeah. Anti-random versus pro-random people.
Yeah, but I've always felt like the anti-random people are in the majority, or at least I think pretty much everyone is against those race ending runs. I think most people are. What?
Yes, the race ending randoms.
I think maybe
randoms, I will have no problem to keep them, but the race ending randoms are bullshit.
To me, there seems to be a correlation between how one feels about randoms and either how long they've been in the game or how high they've got into the game. So the newcomers seem to like the idea of having this randomness because it sort of mimics, I guess, real driving. But then as you actually get involved in the game, and especially as you get to the higher levels, I'm sure, and the penalties are so much more severe that suddenly they become more and more ugly.
I think it also depends a bit what what game type you are. If you're more the poker roulette type of player or the chess player, that you want some randomness in the game, or if you want to have complete control over everything. And I think that there are simply some people who like some random elements and some who would like to have everything under control and just the pure skill that wins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that those players are tending to make it to higher levels than those who are relying on luck. So this could also be a reason why in higher tiers people prefer less randomness, because they may be more the chess type players that try to calculate everything into detail, and then this just spools everything.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a good possibility. Yes, it could be that.
But
Yeah.
I think today Roland would mind some more randomness.
No, he certainly wouldn't.
I understand that he's against race ending randoms, but he's not against randoms overall. So more or less the same position I am.
Yeah, I think he had a post where he talked about other random elements of the game that we just don't think of as being quote unquote randoms, like the weather, for instance. If I'm recalling Roland's post properly.
Yeah, I think there are quite a lot of things that are randomly generated. I mean, the qualifying gains are to some big part. I mean, you can get a second or you can get nothing, which can make quite a big difference in the starting grid. And if you're on Monte Carlo, then you maybe already can decide your race. It can be hot or cold all season. You can get the weather change in exactly the right or wrong moment. So yeah, there are already actually a lot of things that you can't really control and only play with probabilities, like with weather. So I don't see that there is a need that everything is predictable. I don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
How hit by random have you been lately? I had a random last race.
I wouldn't even notice if I get a random, to be honest. I'm not sure if I would even notice the tire punch.
I did notice my random. I was counting the number of stops and I had one extra stop. So yes, I
I
noticed
think
my
I
random.
recently had a race where I managed to smoke 3 times and it got repaired 2 times, and it was 3 times the same part that broke. But I somehow managed it to the end. This is the only thing I come to the race screen and I see in the money balance I made it or I didn't made it. If I made it, I don't care whatever.
Yeah, it's good to get your randoms when you're on Pepperelli.
Yeah, or to get all in one race like that.
Yeah, that too.
Said Pedro, are you
Yes.
there?
Yeah, I'm
What
watching.
what about randoms? Have you had any already
I think
that
I,
that don't have many races in the
well,
game?
I don't know if the weather is random. I don't think it is. I mean, when you predict the weather next day it will be slightly different. But that's not a random. That's nature. And the game, I think, wants to simulate that. But the only thing about the weather is the weather report is the rain probability coming down at a certain. It's not at a certain minute, but it's a bit unreadable for the common person that starts the game. But then with the discussions, the arguments, you start to understand, to start to read a different manner than a normal weather report. The weather report is a bit different than the normal, just that. For I think it's for the game's sake. I don't know. Some things I start to understand now, but not that I agree, I just understand them better. But I'm just new in the game, so I don't want to spoil others' game. People that are here like 10 years, so I also played the game 10 years, so I know what it is. And what I don't what I understand is that for the game to be fun at the elite, it has to be bad at the rookies. That's my understanding. Because you need something new. After you have five calculators to make your race, you need something another challenge. I mean, I don't know. So somebody comes with a random or something different from reality, and just uh, uh, I think
The
that's my
challenge is to
current.
get your 5 calculators down to one.
I only use one that is free, but the game that I played had calculators too, but it was a couple too. So, but it was much less complex. I mean, it was a war game, but
ايش ما عرفت.
I just think that there are some things that don't connect to reality. So it's just for the game's sake. It's just for the challenge, for the I don't know. I didn't saw the game evolving and the new features. And so I just see the big picture now, and there are some records on the site, the users, and there are discussions, all discussions that you can find by chance or something, or by searching
by
to
search.
understand. See, searching the forums, I'm you can find a lot of things just from 2009 when I stopped 15 times and I thought that this is must be some kind of record, but now somebody in 2009 stopped like 30 or something like that. So I don't have that achievement. Maybe the game changed meanwhile, so it's a record currently. It's hard for I think I'm good at managing games. It's not the first management game that I play, but it's complicated for the rookies because the phobia I agree partially, but many games have more help for the beginner. You know. It's all written there, but you have to read a lot of question marks for the first case, for example, and to do something, not stop 6 or 4 times like most of the rookies. If you watch everybody's first race, unless he had some assistant, he will stop like 6 times, unless he's 0 degrees or something. So it's not good because for a beginner, you wait like 3 days for the race, and your race sucks. The second race, you stretch the extra softs the most you can. You stop 4 or 5, yeah, it lasts one, and then you start.
The classical extra soft
I
mistake for
I
the
have to
rookies.
read this again. I have to read all the question marks to search the form. Okay, it's there that I change. It's a basic thing. I mean, a basic thing. So that it gets complicated, as I just heard from the discussion about the tire suppliers. But the rookie doesn't need to know what's one big push tire. They just need to know. I want to stop 2 times. I think for this race I want to stop 2 times or one more. I still stop one more or the last stint is much shorter than I expected. That happens. But so there are some things at the rookie level that have to be looked at. Not to, you don't have to reveal all the secrets of the game because they are thousands, if not. Uh, it's just a few basic tricks, and then the rookie has to start thinking for himself, looking at the game, the race information, and
Analyzing the
understand
data.
every bit of it. It's not just one or two things that he has to look for. So it's just helping the first steps, like what kind of thinking you need in this game. You have to constantly question everything you see, every number, every value, every statement, and think is this important? Is very important, or just a small detail? It's not revealing who in the game, and all of a sudden a rookie knows the secrets of going to hell. It won't happen. And I think many people quit because they try a couple of races, and this is too much for me. Maybe they just want to go to amateur and stay there the rest of their lives, and they will be happy. But now they quit at rookie with races. Some races I have 8 people, 8 cars, some I have 18. But and
Nowadays,
and the guy.
it's very hard to relegate from amateur to rookie.
Some people manage.
I never been there.
Some people manage. Yes, I know who you are referring to, Brad. But it's
No,
really
many
hard
people.
to. So it's an achievement to relegate from
It's
amateur
not many
to
people.
rookie.
In every group, 7 people relegate. So it's not a few people. Well, in the levels above, it's more. It's like 15 or something. It's also something incredible. But only when I get there, I will have an opinion.
Well, it's a good thing you can't crash outside of the start, because Jasper and George are really going at it here.
Some Nico Rosberg, Nico Hamilton,
exactly.
Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton moment.
Yeah.
But
Luckily,
they are in different teams, I think. So they are in a family team, but he can't let him pass.
No,
correct.
he can't.
Not that he needs to, but
Yep.
Imagine if Roland didn't crash that one race, then I think there would be even more insane fight.
This would be
Yeah.
really, really insane. Yes.
Then
It's
it
hard to
would have
know.
been maybe 4 points or something like that. Now imagine
Yeah.
now 4 points, that would be insane.
We can always speculate on that, but if Roland doesn't get the random, then it completely changes his wear plan, most likely. And so
yeah, I mean, it also affects every action. It's like the butterfly wing theory, where one beat of a butterfly causes a thunderstorm somewhere else in the future.
So perhaps he would not have been so dominant on the handling tracks as he was had he not had the random. But we just don't know.
Yeah, but I think that Roland, well, he made a mistake on Baku, and that cost him maybe the championship. And he
was that where he ran out of energy?
Yeah,
yes. That's what Harsh is saying at the chat. That his energy freak up at Baku did not save him anything, though.
That's not what Harsh said.
The freak up.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining battle to watch from the outside, and especially for those of us in Maladi.
It has been entertaining for me. I don't think that it has been as entertaining for Roland or for Jasper.
Yeah, I think Jasper's handled it pretty well, actually.
Yes, he has. I agree with that, but I know that he would have preferred to have the championship defined one race in advance, at least, and that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that what you read on the forums is not what they are thinking inside.
Well, no, but I get to see what he's thinking inside. We have a very intimate family.
Yeah, but I remember, maybe it remembers me a bit too, when I fought with Nefzat, and from the outside we both played it all diplomatic, but on the inner side you always desperately try to get the edge on each other and try to end this.
Yeah, that was a pretty good battle too. Was that your first championship?
Yeah, I think season 72.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was, I think, the time between season 70 and 74 was a time where the density wasn't that high. I said that to Flo last time we streamed. I think that was, you could prepare in Elite. Right now I think it's very difficult because it always goes in waves, because there are times where the money balance is up and everybody is now spending the big bucks, and then because everybody else is so fast, people spend even more, and then it goes down, and then a few seasons after, then everybody goes back on cheap tires, and then people from lower divisions have good chances. But now is a time where there are a lot of strong drivers. I remember when I pushed a few seasons back, there were maybe like 3 drivers above 220 overall. Now I feel like there are 12 or 15 and 218 plus. So now a lot of people, I think people are more training drivers now, because I feel like now it's getting a bit back to the older times where people just trained their drivers all the time. And I think this is what is now happening, because you can also see that the market is getting worse again. There are not that many good drivers anymore. Even I think Michaela Karlström signed a not even very good driver that was come from Master for over 2 million. So the market was not that good. Now
Hey, that was my driver. That was my driver. It was outstanding. Yes, he was a driver. He was a driver for Master.
It wasn't ready. I wouldn't pay 2
He wasn't
million
ready. No,
for a driver that is.
He was a project driver. No, not a reality, a project.
I think, yeah, and I mean, if you push, that costs 3 million, and for 3 million you can get a ready driver, and you can save your dual seasons that might be expensive because you're underachieving. So I think Pavel Zaburski signed and also such a driver from Ivan Silva that was for 2.4, and when he pushed it was already over 3 million. And I think Tony Zarinki signed a ready driver for 3 million, so you can just go immediately at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what's your plan
the ready drivers do not grow in trees, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's also always a question. You never know what you find on the market, who drops what, and this makes it difficult that there might be a driver, but you haven't prepared. I mean, you can't decide race one, okay, now I go for championship. You have to know that sometime in advance that now it's the time to push, and then you see what's there, and you might not want that because then you prepare your package and there is nothing there. I think I have seen that with Roland when he signed his driver he's having right now, and he tried to get some good ones but didn't, and then he had to take a 180 something overall driver. Did it well, but yeah, it's not always ideal. If you're not Roland, you're mortal, then you might have some difficulties to if you activated sponsors.
It's hard for human beings.
Yeah, bots is better at that. Oh, it's over, and Jasper is champion.
Jasper is champion.
Official.
Congratulations to Jasper.
I think.
There you go, Jasper.
It's a bit sad he's not here right now. I think his family should show some respect to his achievement and be quiet and let him have his streaming and receive his honor.
I agree.
Doesn't happen all the time that a family member gets world champion. So what happened to Brad?
I guess that he went to congratulate Jasper.
They are all living in one house.
It's his double account, of course.
I'm opening up a 7-year-old Rodenbach in Jasper's honor.
Woo!
Now you have to go to his house and
and shower
We give
everyone
him a
with
shower of champagne.
champagne.
Flo, do you have a picture of George?
No, I don't.
No, I would love to see that myself.
No, I don't.
Do you have any pictures inside your team? Do you know how George looks in real life and that he isn't an DA of Jasper or anything?
No, George prefers to be more anonymous.
So same as Juk, but Juk failed. So George is better than Juk.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you can do some social media stalking, Flo. Maybe you find something. Maybe a few minutes will give you.
No,
Can you reveal if George Slater is his real name? So Flo can do some stalking on Instagram, Facebook.
Why stalking?
This is for Jasper.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh my
For
lord,
Jasper, our new champion.
Woo. That was worth the wait.
I think
Rodenbach makes these sour ales, I guess, and usually I don't like them, but this one is delicious. Man.
So Christian promoted?
Christian promoted.
Yeah.
So one drink for Christian too?
All right.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers for
On the
Christian.
last lap, I was cheering for this one behind me because my bonus is about 3 or 4 million. So
oh my God.
Pay that man his money.
I have money. This is not a problem.
That explains why you only had one race this season.
Yes, I didn't push. I underestimate Pete from the beginning. I didn't push so hard. And then it come to rain. I have a low talent, so he approached me, he overtake me, and then it was problem. But okay, now everything is okay. For him, I lost about 20 million more. I need to change my whole season plan to push more. So I will not underestimate anyone ever again. This was too close.
This was too stressing.
What?
Too stressing.
Yeah, too stressing. If I was pushing harder from the beginning, it would be easier. So Jasper is first trophy, yes?
Yes, it's his first trophy.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I don't know him, but I think he is a very good guy. I mean, also, but he has a whole bedroom of these trophies.
Indeed. I'm always happy when a new guy wins a trophy. Yeah, I think it's very helpful for the game.
Yes,
I think this is always a bit like you're always rooting for the underdog. A bit like in soccer when maybe the club that always wins plays against maybe some local team or so, then it's probably also more interesting. But I think that I always hope that it stays close to the end, which it did. Maybe a few points closer would have been nice for the stream. But yeah,
it's
I
not
think
often.
in the end, Jasper deserves his win. And yeah, I think it would have been very unfortunately to lose it. And I don't think that anyone really wants it to be ended by a tire puncture.
No, of course not.
Flo? But I think even Roland, I'm not sure. I mean, he was relying on it somehow, I think, doing big upgrades.
Yeah, he went to extremes here at the end. Didn't he go negative before this race?
Yeah, minus 11 million. I think I've never seen Roland being such an overkill. He usually
Yeah, it's a
don't do
pretty
such
big risk
things.
considering his only real chance was for Jasper to get a random.
Yeah, maybe even I don't know if a single pit, maybe an early pit would have made it, so he would have been stuck in traffic. But later, an extra pit probably still would have gotten 2 points. I don't know. What can you display the gaps again?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the gaps have been bigger. Also with Edwin out and Rimanta smoking. And I think looking at my race result, I have to pay some tax, which I don't like. Oh, I think I got a random. Problem solved.
I think I had a random. I didn't have one this time.
Well, luckily for me, tech saved me from a victory.
Why? Do you have a big bonus?
No bonus. I just don't want the rep.
Oh, the reputation. I understand.
Yeah.
I got a 30th. I needed a random this race too, but I didn't get it.
At
You
least
take
you're safe
Flo,
from paying taxes.
at the beginning of the season, yes?
What?
You take a new driver for master on the beginning of the season.
I signed the driver for master race 1 this season.
I have one question for you.
Sure.
You had a driver with 210 also.
210,
And you
yeah.
changed him on the beginning of the season.
Yes.
So if your plan was to change him immediately, then why did you train him all the season?
Because I could.
Because you can.
Because my promotion season wasn't at Shepherd.
Yeah, but you were safe. You didn't need to spend money.
At the beginning of the season, I thought that I would get more performance out of the driver with better aggro, with better aggressiveness. He was far from 100, so I was getting very good aggro gains with the trainings.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that it would benefit my performance to give him some aggressiveness, at least at the beginning of the season. Then I was planning to stop training, but it happened that I never had a problem with the promotion, so I kept training him. Hello, Luca.
Hi, guys.
Right.
Hello.
Where are you?
I finished eating about 15, 20 minutes ago from a restaurant that where my sister's working. So I come to visit her because we were planning to visit each other all the week, but my problems, her problems, we never managed to meet. So today was the only day that we could meet, but she's working, so we cannot chat alone.
I understand. So where are you?
Where am I? You mean country?
Are you home? No.
No, I'm not at home. I'm in a restaurant.
Okay.
How big do you think is his home? That he can keep walking all the time.
You're on the street.
I just finished watching my race. Just managed to see the end.
How did it go?
I arrived in second place.
Okay, so you had an outstanding season at rookie this season. I nominated you for best manager at rookie and amateur, by the way.
Yeah, I managed to have a good result despite the guy that arrived first went 47 million in negative, and he had a favorite track, but we arrived at 3/4 of a second,
Pretty
and I was going
impressive.
and I was going a zero.
Zero clear track.
Zero everything.
Zero everything. Yes.
I just had boost laps. I lost the fastest lap for 1/10 of a second.
Very impressive. Well, you had a very interesting season at rookie.
And I finished with a nice balance because before the race I had 70 million.
70 million. That's very good for rookie. Yes.
And I didn't change anything for the last race. While my teammate went spent about 20 million to avoid taxes, but he finished in third place. And the other guy went 47 million negative and was pushing. I bet he was pushing because he was very, very far in the qualifying sessions. But I managed to have a good race. I had some overtaking. Chances in the last laps, but in the end, he managed to win. But I'm happy the same.
Well, congratulations, and congratulations on the group championship.
On the promotion, yeah.
On the promotion, of course, which is the most important thing.
I had all first and second places in all the seasons, so I'm happy the same.
All podiums. That's a very nice achievement too.
All first and second places, and also my teammate. My teammate managed to win just one race, but in the end, it did all podiums as well.
Impressive too.
Yes.
No,
I'm happy with my season. I hope I can repeat myself in amateur, this time with a better plan.
Well, you will need to train a driver hard to get that at amateur.
I think he lacks in experience now. The only thing that he really lacks is experience. He has about 47, 48. It's very low. Right now he has about 150 stamina. So I think it's a bit.
That's a lot for rookie.
That's a bit high, but I need to focus on experience now. I think I'm not going to train him for the next season. I'll just let experience grow, I bet.
So what are the rest of you plans for next season, Brad?
Me?
Yes.
Gonna try to promote out of amateur.
Finally.
Yay! Yeah, I figured it was about time.
I'm going to celebrate the day you get out from pro and finally promote to master.
Yeah, we'll try that after this, but we'll see how next season goes.
I'm using Luca microphone because it's very windy and I was listening to the wind.
Jan, what are your plans?
Well, I will do normal 2 season, Masters Day, train my driver in the first and promote in the second. And I hope that my package is good enough, but I still have a lot of sponsors. So right now some teammates are pushing, so I also don't see much sense in staying in elite. And also, yeah, I don't think that currently is a good time to prepare well with too many expenditures all over the place. So I think just going back, accumulate some money, they take a promo sponsor, train a driver. It's the best approach for me.
Well, hiring a driver cheap at master without bonuses is always an interesting plan.
Yeah, I think once you're Yeah, well, a good way to establish yourself in the top 2 divisions is probably to force your way to elite somehow, and then you have a big advantage. If you prepare, there's a big difference. If you relegate, for example, like Edwin, this is very painful because now his car is probably not aligned for the next season. Probably spent a lot. So I don't think, I haven't seen his money balance, but he probably has not 50 million. He doesn't have a driver, so he has to dive straight into market madness. Not unlikely he's going to lose his TD, as he probably has one above 120. So he is pretty, he's in that good shape coming back to master. And if you plan it from the beginning, it's a whole different story. You get a driver early on, train it all the time. You have a huge advantage because I have a driver that would go probably for 1.5, 2 million on the market easily, and it's only 430,000 right now, no bonuses. And I can get myself to pretty much 50 million. I think I'm almost spot on right now, which is also not a bad money balance. I made my sponsors coming active all after the last race, so I have immediately, I think, 5.5 million sponsor income, or starting race 1 next season, and so on. I can sign a TD for master and so on. And this is a big advantage. If you plan it, then you can prepare very well from elite. I would almost say this is a bit imbalanced. But then for those who are relegating spontaneously, let's say it like that, it's not that easy. Also, another advantage would be that if you plan to go for championship with a driver that you signed and trained, then you either sign it very early in amateur, because this is the only chance where you can train it and form it a lot and get it cheap, because a driver that is later on going to fight for championship already needs to be very good on the master market, and it's not going cheap on the master market. So, for example, a driver like Wouter, which was probably the perfect driver. I missed that stock market, but it was also a bit more expensive. So that driver would probably still for 1.5 million maybe, and if you have always 12% increase, then it's almost expensive as a driver from the market in the end. But on top of that, you have to do all the training. So this approach pretty much only works if you come either from amateur, we get it with no competition because you take maybe a very crappy one and train it 3-4 seasons in amateur, or you take one from the elite. Because you can take
elite, yes.
you either take one above 160 because of the motivation, or you take one at 140, 145, train it, because it would be too weak for masters because they would have to be a season underachieving. Jasper. Yeah, I mean, you can probably, but you need to be lucky, and it's might be not that cheap.
The chances are less.
Yeah, so I think on the master market, get a good driver for under 1 million, probably difficult, I think. And then, I mean, if you have, I don't know, 6-7 extensions, then it's way over 2 million already. It's not that cheap anymore.
Congratulations to Jasper once again.
Jasper, does your family know what you have achieved right now? And don't they want you to share the moment that gives your family pride for their whole lives in your neighborhood to join?
I don't know if his family approves of G-Pro.
Is he in the G-Pro closet?
I think he might be.
He's living at the Malati house, I thought.
we should have that. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Then we'd really hate each other.
That's sad. This is not the honor. What does your family think you're doing all the time, by the way?
Yes.
Do you have some excuse?
How do they think he spends his time?
He probably just calls it his job. That's what it is.
Well, my parents know that, but I actually think that nobody's taking this seriously. Probably for a reason, but still, sometimes it's a bit sad that nobody appreciates what you're doing.
Yeah,
But I think you have to get used to that.
I mean, my wife knows, but she doesn't understand it. She just rolls her eyes at it.
I think most women, except Flo, doesn't care about games like this, to be honest.
Hey, I'm not the only woman on the site.
Yes, we have Iveta.
We have
Iveta.
Iveta. Yes, but we also have Anya and
Oh, yeah.
Kirsty.
Yes, yes.
Then there's a few girls at the Ice Women team.
Yeah. And they still won't
We
accept
have probably we have around 60 women on the site, probably.
It's probably about right.
I think that's more or less the number of women that we have playing. We are not many. I don't think we can count 100 women playing.
I have 2 women in my group.
No comments.
One of fighting. Sorry?
No comments. I refrain from commenting.
Where's Michael Keeney when you need him?
Where's Michael Keeney when you need him? Indeed.
I think Elite Forum is already going viral again, fuming about Edwin's random. I think I saw that coming, but also congratulating Jasper. But I think everybody's feeling sorry for him and also pointing out that he would have made it with a non-race ending random, probably.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, now you go to master with nothing. So this is funny. I think this is. I would be curious to see how many people are actually retiring because of this. Because there are probably. I mean, if it happens in the higher divisions, you might realize that it happened. But there might be a few hundred people that quit because of this. So this can be really in the interest of the games, given it's already the amount of players is already going down. So if you have people rage quitting, it's not good. So
we don't want people quitting Chipro.
No.
But the rage quitters come back. They
Most
calm down, they have a cooling off period, and they come back.
That reminds me when I was having the interview with Maxim
Kotov,
yes, that he was telling me about that he first rage quit the game and came back years later, realizing that it's just a game and that he shouldn't take it too seriously.
But from Lad's perspective, that could be years where he could have been a supporter.
What?
From Lad's perspective, that could have been years where he could have been a supporter.
That's saved you.
That's true, but the good thing is that he came back.
Yeah. I think that interview got nominated for best stream or something like that.
I want to know who is Krabby Fish. He says that he was about 13 or 14 when he reached Elite.
That was the historic days.
And that the game, of course, is now more difficult. But I don't know which manager is because he has a fantasy name. Who are you?
That could be his G Pro name.
I don't think that gets approved by Mr. Shado.
I don't think that. That's
I don't think you're going to Elite these days unless he's.
I must go. Can I say goodbye?
Peca con pulo. You can say goodbye, yes.
Yeah, my kids just came, so I need to go.
No problem, Christian. It
Right.
was a
Bye-bye,
pleasure
Christian.
to have you here. Congratulations on the promo.
Yep, congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't talk so much. I just concentrate on my race.
You had a good excuse.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Next time I will be more communicating. Bye.
Bye.
Congrats
See you
on
soon.
promo.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, I need to head out as well. For anyone watching, the Melati family are recruiting. So if you would like to join this beautiful family, send Jasper an application.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
so I think it was a nice stream today. Good participation.
long.
Oh, here we have the person that said that he reached elite very early in his career. Pekka Kumpula.
And
I don't know how to
there are
pronounce it.
people that have a degree at 13, 14. They are rare,
So
but
is he then the
they are-
youngest person that ever reached elite? Because we once had
Probably.
when I reached elite when I was 17, I think I was 17. Somebody said if I was the youngest, and then there came the João Montero discussion. But
Let's not discuss that again.
no.
Please.
But then I think that then nobody mentioned this one. Maybe nobody knew the age displayed.
Krabby Fizz.
2002. Oh, what does it say as a birth date?
He joined 2012.
Yeah, then he was pretty young. I think. Well, I remember that you're only allowed to play at the age of 16 or something like that. I remember that somebody bragged if he was the youngest player in the forums, age 12, and then Jasper pointed out that he's not the Spanish Inquisition, but that the game rules say that you must be at least. Well, what happened? Well, I just continued talking. So the game rules said that you need to be at least 16, and he bragged that he is 12.
Sorry, I misclicked.
Excuses, you lost internet.
No, I misclicked. I tried to close the share screen link and I misclicked and left the studio.
So I just said that the game rules say that you must be at least 16, and
16,
somebody bragged that he is 12 and playing the game, and then Jasper pointed that out.
But it was not always that way. Before the last of these privacy laws that concern the European Union were launched lately, I don't know, maybe 1-2 years ago, the age to join the game was 13.
Yeah.
So the age being 16 was not always the rule.
Now I wonder if I played at an illegal age, but I don't think I was that young.
I know a lot of managers that joined before being 13.
Yeah, but I don't really see. I mean, this is not a violent game, so I don't really see any point in being too young. I mean, if your parents let you sit on the PC for long enough so that you can reach elite, which good parents probably shouldn't.
It's because of the forums.
Probably because of the forum.
Yeah, this could be. Maybe there could be a function that you disable forums. I know that there are some where I played at Lead Chess, the chess online chess platform, and there you can play in kit modes. Then the chat is disabled to keep it safe from any verbal abuse or something like that. So it's then not a problem to have people playing at younger age. maybe you could disable forums, do something like with Kini, with everything under 14. I didn't say that.
Do you have to mention him?
I don't know. Funny. I provoke him as long as he doesn't join.
Is it needed to mention him? Where is he when you need him?
I think he doesn't really care, but yeah, this maybe if it's possible to disable the forums for some people, then you could also get those people in. That's probably too much work and not really. I mean, I don't really think that Blood cares if somebody is underage. I mean,
Yes, I think
what's
it's
going
because
to happen?
of the requirement to use your real name and entering personal data such as the birth date.
Yeah.
You know, when you are entering personal data, that it's complicated in the eyes of the law.
Yeah, he probably wants to play it safe so that it doesn't say, yeah, you were trying to get data from kids or something like that. So maybe it would be just smarter to say, yeah, you have to be 16 and then you have to enter an age that is actually at least 16. And if they enter a wrong age, then you can say, yeah, they made wrong data. I couldn't know that they were underage. So like on some 18 plus sites where you just enter that you're older, but yeah, probably it's not such a big problem on this game. Any more questions on the chat? I think it's gone a bit quiet. I mean, the race is over.
It would be nice to have some questions. There are races that we have interesting questions at the chat. Tonight, I think there were too many people very focused on their own races. That's why we didn't have many questions.
I still want Jasper to answer my question, what his family thinks he's doing when he's playing Gipro.
Yes, Jasper, answer.
Curious about that.
Studying.
And what do your friends know what you're doing and that you're a world champion? That you're a prof? I always say I'm an esport player, so I take that as an excuse.
Oh, we have a bug in the post-race update. Site is down.
Re-race, Jasper, re-race.
Rerun.
We will repeat the race as long as Roland comes out as a champion, I fear. So, never be safe. It's not over.
No questions. We want the answer from Jasper. What does your family think you're doing when you play Gipro, and do your friends know about Gipro? In my case, most of my friends are of course women, and they do know about Gipro. They don't care, of course, but they do know about Gipro.
Less friends do improve your performance, though.
What?
Less friends does improve your performance in the game because you have more time, and time is very important for performance.
What about your friends, Jasper?
If you're not answering, we assume you have no friends, so better answer. But you can ask them. They are probably in the door next to you. Then we can maybe talk a bit to them to make them more, so that they appreciate more what you're doing. Say that you're about to be...
Make them watch the streaming.
That you're about to make a lot of money from the game and that they should. I think Jasper is high.
Neither
come on.
neither Jasper nor Roland have friends. That's
why they're first and second.
Only Hook is still left.
that's why they are champions, you know. As you said, they have more time to play Shipro.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. So maybe it's a good sign. I'm losing recently.
You're losing, so you're gaining friends, you mean?
Yeah, making friends. So I think if you get a girlfriend, you are immediately relegating to divisions.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Then no.
Then I would relegate one more. Yeah, I
You have
remember.
a family, Peter.
That remembers me to one tweet. I think maybe it even got post of the season where somebody said he had several problems setting up the race and was failing, and that he said G-Pro is not his life. And then somebody pointed out, I found your problem.
Shipro is not life.
Flo, your flag is moving.
Yes, my husband is moving too. Can you see him?
Does
there?
your husband know about your G-Pro career? Given you can hardly oversee the G-Pro flag in the middle of your living room.
In the middle of the room, yes. That's his side and this is my side. My husband introduced me to the game, Jan. Oh. I thought you knew that.
No,
You didn't know that?
No. Is he still playing?
No, he's not still playing. He quit a year and a half ago. Okay, but he played for 9 years.
What is his name?
Andres Ochero with double G.
I'm not sure if I remember the name, but of course 1.5 years ago.
He wasn't active in the forum, so it's unlikely you can recall him unless you have shared a group with him.
Yeah, probably not. I would remember the name then.
Well, he introduced me to the game. It's a matter of fact that my relationship with Shipro is longer than my relationship with him, because we met online, and while we were chatting online before meeting each other in real life, he introduced me to Shipro. I started playing, and like 3-4 days after that, we met.
And this is how he convinced you from himself that he gave you the good advice of joining G-Pro before
yes,
the first date.
That made me fall in love.
It was a precondition.
How long did it take you to get better than him in the game? And was that the reason that he quit now, that he is disappointed that you're beating him?
It took me getting out of rookie to become better than him.
Okay. So did you learn a lot from him?
No, I didn't. Not really. No, he was sort of my mentor, of course. And after 2 seasons, more or less, a little bit less than 2 seasons, I told him, okay, I think that I'm not going to take advice from you anymore. And I stopped getting too much advice from him, and I started following my own gut, and it worked. Then I promptly joined my second team. And when I joined my second team, it was almost immediate that I learned a lot from the basics that I was missing, because I got out of rookie without knowing much of the basics, as many other rookies, of course. I was working out my fuel and my tires and not much more than that. I was still lacking a perfect setup method, for example.
Does your husband, I can forward the question to you. It's asked by, it's not the question, but Kamal points out that, does your husband regret that he introduced you to G-Pro, seeing the flag between you and the living room.
He believes he created monsters, of course.
I can understand.
He created a monster. There's no doubt about it.
How
But
did you end up in Jaguar?
they were recruiting, and I applied.
And then they were, we need a woman to fill our team. This is special. We want her. She has potential.
No, I actually had the best application of all.
This is always the best way. Or at least they said that you had the best application.
No, believe me, we save our applications. You know, when someone applies to the team, we save the applications in a special topic in the team forum. We don't save the discussion, that we delete. So when the
Yeah, it's
person
the same
joins,
at our team.
when the
I would,
person joins, they don't read the discussion. But we do save the applications, and I could read the applications, and the quality was not the best. And I did put together a pretty convincing application. I was a newbie.
actually, in the first team where I got in, there was, I could read my topic where they discussed my application, which was quite interesting. So I could see the whole voting and the whole discussion from the beginning. I don't know if they failed to hide it, but I could see what they were talking about. At my current team at Nuvolari, they deleted the topic, or at least made it invisible for everyone else when I joined. So unfortunately, I couldn't read all trash talk about me. But somehow I got in, so this is the main thing.
One thing I need to clarify is that when we were in the process of recruitment, when I joined the team, we started. I joined a chat with the team, and we took a week to see if we worked well together. If we were feeling that I was adapting well, and it worked, so I joined. There was a vote, of course. There were two candidates who were way more experienced than myself. I was 2.5 seasons old by then. And I guess that they prefer someone with a future, somewhere with some potential for the future. And I think they don't regret recruiting me because I'm the second top scorer for team points on the team. So I think it was a good investment.
So yeah, Malati is also recruiting right now.
Malati is recruiting, yes, Brad.
So everyone who wants to get a teammate with a current champion.
With our new champ.
So I fear nobody is going to apply to Jaguar now, given that Roland have been beaten. But I hope you now have to keep your people together.
We are not recruiting, but it must feel appealing to apply to Malati right now. They are so hot right now.
Yeah, we should definitely get one person in. We from Nuvolari should try to get one person in there. So we maybe thought we all apply and pretend that we have a fight, so we can,
that's a good method.
Infiltrate, try to get better, or at least sabotage their setup.
Trying to steal their secrets.
Yeah. We already sent Yux a double account, so.
To Jaguar.
Yeah.
Yes, and you succeeded.
Yeah.
You succeeded. You sent him our way, and we walked him.
Yeah. Now we need one at Malati, given they are becoming very dangerous. Yeah.
It's impressive. It's impressive the number of managers brought to Elite they have.
Yeah. think those two, they are the. I already also talked about Flo, that now 7 seasons in a row have always been won between Jaguar and Nuvolari. And now it's Malati, and I think Malati will win several more in the future. They have a lot of strong people, and I think they're also working very hard and have a lot of passion for the game, as you can see with Brad's celebration. So they still have the hunger to get better, and also, yeah, the recent developments they have
That's
done.
very
The pre-push.
important. That's very important. The hunger to get better, and I think that shows, and it will help them recruit a very good manager for the team.
There is one of my famous quotes. It's from Conor McGregor, if somebody knows him, but he said, "If you sleep on a win, you'll wake up with a loss." And I think in GPro this is also the case. As soon as you try to, that you say, we have enough knowledge, somebody will overtake you, and they will win. So you always have to work every season. And I have to say that I currently not really have that much motivation. So if I want to win a title again, then I have to get back to this extreme focus, which is quite exhausting and takes a lot of time. So I have to see. But now in Master, it's not that required. But after that, you have to plan every card change perfectly. So because otherwise you're missing the important.
I agree. As a matter of fact, not this relegation that is today, but the previous relegation I had from Elite, I relegated. I had a planned relegation too because I was studying full time, and it was starting to get stressing to pay too much attention to Shipro and having less time for studying. So I can say that it is true that when you are at a certain level, you need to invest more time in the game. And with real life, it sometimes gets harder. But motivation is always very important. I wish I had the freshness and motivation of Se Pedro at this moment.
No, you don't.
Why?
uh, I was more motivated a while ago, but I'm still motivated. I like a challenge, So, but I don't have much time right now. I moved to another country. I'm still restarting my life, so I used to play a lot of more games, but now I only play a couple, I think.
You're missing something that I understand that many players at Chipro have Chipro as their main game, but you are playing too many games. That's why you don't have the the time to dedicate. I don't play other games.
I think I've been improving race by race. I almost tripled the points I made in my first season. But yeah, it's the first season. Completely blind. I've ended up in fifth just before promotion. So it's not bad. I was 11th the first season, so I couldn't promote if I wanted to, but I didn't want to because in Hook you can experiment a lot. The money is free for to say so.
That will be an objective for another season.
Sorry?
That will be an objective. The promotion will be an objective for another season. Jasper says that he was stressed. Come on, Jasper.
I can feel that. I remember I had much more gap against the left side, and it was still extremely stressful. You can never have enough gap. It's just everybody else is cheering for it to be close, and you're just, nah. I want to have 50 points gap. Before that, I'm not relaxed, because you always feel way more. If you're the person leading, you feel always more threatened than the person in second has hope. Let me say like that. So I think Roland will probably didn't feel like it's realistic, but Jasper will have felt the threat of something happening. It's always, you're a bit more pessimistic when you're leading, I think, because you always see the negative that could happen and end it for you, because this is more present in your brain.
All the what if, the what ifs. What if Roland wins 5 of the last 6 races? Oh.
Yeah, I think the difference is that Roland is not pushing next season, obviously, with what he's done. I don't think this makes sense to spend this much with pushing the next season also. But Jasper probably, I don't know if he's still going for the double, but I think initially this was definitely the plan, and with his package it makes sense. But now it's probably not ideal. Not sure what he will do. He knows George's package.
Maybe Jasper wants to share that with us.
Probably not.
If you're willing to answer, Jasper, answer, and
Otherwise, I will
highlight the comment.
Otherwise, I will keep throwing random guesses in the room. So you better talk.
We can keep speculating.
But yeah, now you can see that maybe his 23 million upgrade wasn't that bad of an idea, because at first thought it would be maybe a bit overkill given its 9 points, but competition was quite fast, also with the cold temperatures and the season being very hot, so many bad years trying the last push like Edwin, which unfortunately have been ended quite early. Vimantas also smoked, so 8th place wasn't that far away if he didn't spend that much. So probably the right move. And Roland always pulling. Jasper answered, I see. Yeah, I can understand that. After the first, you are rid of 80-90% of the pressure you made yourself.
So he's probably it's not clear. He's making a statement, but it's not clear. I think that the idea of double is not out of the question. But he doesn't answer.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Possibility exists. It doesn't sound that confident to me, and now things have gone not that well in terms of preparation for next season and spending. I think they both spent like 600 million this season, which is, I think, more than even I did against Nefsat. And I was on Mishi, so it was cheaper, of course, but yeah, I think this season was extremely expensive for everyone, which you can see that everybody started with good money and now everybody is at around zero. And so this probably was more expenditures than he planned. So he can still have a very good performance, but he's probably not going.
To answer to Shay, no, they don't get a championship sponsor.
I think that would be against the ideas of the recent changes if you would get a sponsor if you win. I think the changes were made to...
The idea is to help the master promoters, not the other way around.
Yeah. This would be increasing the gap even further. Roland Postel being 25. Roland Postel winning 25 seasons in a row, always getting a fancy sponsor every season on top.
A champion would be very hard to beat if he got a matching Imagine an engine sponsor for the champion.
Maybe the runner-up should get a
That would
sponsor.
be insane.
A sponsor to dry the tears or something like that. But yeah, curious to see next season. Also, Max Top 10 gonna be interesting. Curious to see the quotes. And usually,
I didn't check the quotes this season.
Roland was first for sure. Jasper was second, I think. I also put Roland in first, but I wouldn't have. I always suck at Max Top 10. I think I have a curse there. Whoever I put in first place will fail. So next season, I think I will put George there, so Yuk has better chances. So I can curse. I had to laugh at the topic where there was a poll that Luke Frost made, who's going to win this season championships, and
exactly.
Ahmed posted that he voted for Roland to curse him and to jinx him, and then Roland said he voted for Jasper to compensate.
Yes, I recall that.
And then Brad said that he voted for himself because he isn't expecting anyone else to vote for it.
That's having faith.
It remembers me when I proposed myself for being the speaker of the class and nobody voted me.
What, at high school?
Yeah. Probably in the, like 5th, 6th, 7th grade in the middle school. I mean, we are all going to the same school in Germany from 5th to 12th and 13th grade. So, what does he ask?
Hard to know. We are not admins.
Yeah.
No, I think that in the next 2 or 3 seasons, we are not probably not going to see big changes.
The big changes were by Yukar, I think, who isn't there, unfortunately, anymore. He probably doesn't even know what he set up with his energy and with his PHA change.
Yes, the last change that was introduced was the PHA change for rain that was introduced this season. So after having a change this season, I don't think we are going to see another one. Maybe I'm wrong, of course, but having one too recent, I don't think we're going to see another big change too soon.
A change that I think would be good for the game, or I would probably try to make if I was an admin, would be to make stuff and facilities a lot more important, because right now I think they are a waste of money. After you can maybe get it to the normal degrees, but everything above is, I feel like, not worth it. And I think this is just taking away one part of the game.
I disagree.
Well, I mean, like the normal standard, but if you go any higher, this is getting just a waste of money.
Yes, up to some level, but they are needed, because if not, you're getting shit pits, and you know that when things are tight and you are on a train, you need the good pits.
So yeah, but I'm also referring to the influence on testing. I think it's way too low, and I think the impact of not giving away too much, but of technical director, for example, is way bigger than all your stuff and facilities. And I think, not sure if that should be the case, given that you're paying a lot more for your stuff and it takes a lot of time to build, and technical director is only one signing. So
one signing, prices are usually kept under $1 million.
Yeah.
At least for the lower leagues, they can get a bit more expensive at elite.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that you could maybe put away the shrinking of facilities. I don't think this is necessary because it's expensive to maintain it. I mean, if you would have it all at 100, if you would have stuff at 100 and facilities at 100, it would cost you 7 million per race. And I think it's okay if you get some benefit back from that. And on top of that, you have to invest a lot to get it to that degree. So if you would increase the impact and maybe you would take away the shrinking, it would be an idea.
Yes, as a matter of fact, when I first promoted to elite, which was season 40, so that was long ago, the top managers used to have way better staff and facilities than they have now. I remember upgrading my staff and facilities to be at elite and the top managers being unreachable. Mainly because I had poor non-trainables, of course, but still, they had way better staff and facilities than the top managers have now.
I remember that Leandro Sereno once posted that there was a time where he had everything at 100 before they introduced the shrinking of facilities.
The degradation, yes.
He was also complaining that the untrainables didn't go further than
Oh,
100.
I remember that topic.
And I think that was a bit.
When he reached 100 experience, or he was at 99 or something, he has okay. now it stopped there and it won't degrade.
I need more of that. I mean this, but that I mean, how should new players ever close that gap?
Close the gap, yes.
I think this is a very bad and egoistic proposal, to be honest.
He actually posted two topics that were, as you say, a little bit selfish and focused on his particular situation. One was that about the staff and facilities level, and another one was that he wanted it was Maxime Kotov free on the market. They wanted to recruit him, and they didn't have the spot at Whiskey at Cigars. So he proposed to get more get more teammates at once, to have, I don't know, maybe 12 people
Random
at
11.
the same
Let's
time.
say 11. Random number.
Random number 11. So he proposed that because he wanted to recruit Maxime.
By the way,
it was quite funny to read. Come on. Do you remember that?
I should start a topping about untrainables, because 2 seasons ago my staff experience reached 100. So
yes,
actually, it took quite a while if I think about it. Now we actually need to get rid of that cap. I think I'm gonna make a poll.
I will want to read such topic.
A bit of trolling. Would I ever do that? I would never troll.
Why?
I would never troll. No, I'm not doing.
Come on, it would be fun.
Like when I remember when I posted, which was the fastest promotion to elite ever, but not mentioning anything. When I made it to elite in 122 races, and I started the topic if Roland Apostel was the fastest, so that people have to point out that it was me. I think I did some trollings. There was also a topic where I complained that there was a season which was completely dry the whole season, and race 15 or 14 was the first rain race of the season, and I complained in the bug forum that the weather forecast picture is moving, and I think the first 2 or 3 people didn't get it, but after that I think people realized what I was referring to.
You're not a very good troll then.
Yeah, I think I got a lot of likes for my standard. Most of the times I'm getting downvoted. like at the elections in class. But I think this is all part of the trolling because it's just a game and it would be boring.
Again, we need some fun sometimes.
Also, what people need to understand when I shit talk before a season is primarily because I think it's way more entertaining that way. Because if you imagine you have two people that are going for the season and both are doing understatement and saying that the other one is the favorite and that the other one is going to win, and they are happy if they finish top 5. This is very boring to watch. What you want to watch is two people with big ego going into the season and both saying they are going to win.
It has been a long time since we have big championship push statements at Elite Topic. I remember back in the day when we had João Monteiro, Toigan, and Leandro. Those were the times. There were more mental games at the Elite Topic, you know.
Imagine such a fight. I don't know if anyone I didn't watch it, but the fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, which was I think the most the fight that generated the most money of all time, and they made a promo tour of 1 year where they shit talked all the time at each other and just insulted each other and said that they are going to win and that they're going to end everyone else's career, and everybody was so hyped that they threw their cash at them, and I think you had to pay several thousand euros to watch the fight, and they actually made a few hundred million from that. And now imagine the same fight, and both people are saying, nah, Floyd Mayweather says, nah, I'm coming straight off retirement. I'm not in such good shape. I think Conor is going to win. And Conor says, no, Floyd Mayweather is boxer. I'm only MMA fighter. He's going to win. I'm happy if I can be there, take my money. Nobody wants to watch that. And so
there's a discussion. I shouldn't be talking about this, but there's a discussion at the crew forum. Yes, we do have a private forum. And a very wise person said that elite managers should be rivals, not friends. That it was at a moment that they were being too polite with each other. and someone said that elite managers should be rivals, not friends.
Yeah, I think it's funnier that way. At least some trash talk. I think I always find that funny.
We need you back at Elite, Jan.
What?
We need you back at Elite.
But if you trash talk, you should have the package. So right now I don't have the package to trash talk. As soon as I trash talk again, you can assume I have a good package again. So
wow, it looks like we still have maintenance.
Still people in the chat?
There's still people at the chat because the site is down, Jan. The site is down, so there are not many interesting things to do at this moment. I do remember. Do you remember that day that we had a test and we had I don't remember if you were here. I think you were. We were like almost 3 hours here.
Yeah, I remember. I joined. You said you're gonna do a test at 8 o'clock European time, 20 MET, and I was on a run, I think, and I came back at 9:15, and I was like, nah, they are not doing the test anymore. And then I'm gonna join, and then I think we left at 12 p.m.
Yes,
something like that. But it was really funny. I think Jay was there. Harsh was there.
Harsh was there. Jasper was there. It was.
I think yes. Roland wants to keep his title as long as possible. Also, some important tip for Roland at this moment. If you set the championship car right now, you're not going to lose it.
Yes,
The championship livery. It's not going to take it away
the
from you.
golden
Now is the
livery.
time.
I had to ask Hugh to drop it. I told him I'm a liveries administrator. If you don't drop it, I'm going to delete it. Oh, Miko was there.
Yeah, Miko was there too.
We need to clarify which Miko is because we have a few.
Miko Suhonen, I think.
Miko Suhonen.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay is also very funny. If he joins once again in the future, would be nice.
Yes, he was testing because he wanted to. I wanted him to help with the backstage stuff. So I shouldn't be highlighting the messages and adding the people because I used to miss when people join sometimes. That's almost not the case now, but he helped, and so did Jasper at the point. He did help with highlighting the messages and adding people to the streaming.
Maybe we can start a crowdfunding for Jasper so he can get a room for one day for himself and do some streaming.
No, I can say that he said he's going to be available soon because he's going to have the home for himself. So if that's the case, I think
That would be a great addition.
I want to talk to the champion. You know?
You're probably kicking me out and
Why?
disabling my.
If you're available, you can be on board too. You are the original host of this show. Let me remind you.
I went down quick because of my devices.
You were degraded for some time, but now that you have better devices, I have to say I'm surprised your internet connection stood up all streaming long.
Don't say it too loud, but yeah, can't complain. And also the pictures are as sharp as the reality for my standard. So I see moving pictures. Very nice to not be the person that causes all the problems.
Here's a statement from Jasper, who is making it official. Like he can join the stream from race 3 to 7.
Yeah, definitely make a screenshot of that so you can pressure him anytime.
No, I will remember this. Don't worry.
You can always say screenshot or it didn't happen, which means whenever he insults someone, we make a screenshot of it. Even if he feels completely safe, there is someone who has a screenshot of him.
So if coronavirus allows him to be present, he will be present between race 3 to race 7 next season. I think it will be an interesting feature for the channel.
Yeah, definitely. I think this always attracts people if the current champion is there.
Yeah, I would like to have
and then if you get Roland, this would be
Roland.
Bring Roland, I bring Jörg.
Roland is playing hard to get.
Yeah.
I think I have said this before, but I'm going to repeat it because, of course, the audience renews itself. But the point about Roland not being present at the streaming is that he doesn't have the devices to connect. And the problem is he lives in a Faraday cage, you know? He's too paranoid to have a webcam.
there was some messenger that was EncroChat, which was made for criminals to be completely anonymous, which was taken down by the police, which shuts off your camera, your GPS, your microphone, and so on. It was used by almost only criminals to organize their stuff without being tracked, but they still hacked it. So maybe if something like that for online streams could be developed, then maybe we can get Juk and Roland and convince him with more data security.
Why don't you stand in front of the camera casually?
He can make a symbol picture. Actually, like this, there was a picture, a profile pic of Roland where he had like a knight or something like that. He was dressed like
he had a hoodie
or something like that. It looked like he was a knight in middle age or so. I mean, you couldn't see much.
He was wearing a hoodie.
A monk.
I think that looked really cool.
My camera is a cell phone. Maybe that's why it looks so good. Ash is commenting. I don't have a cam, so I have to install an application on my PC and on my phone, and I'm connected with a USB cable.
Cable.
So, and if this is the free version. If you pay the pro, you can have 16:9 and more quality. You can have a panoramic view or a wide screen. So only my headset needs to be changed. It needs to be new, upgrade. Now it's fine. When there was like 6 people or 7, I had many interruptions in the stream and in the voice. Now it's good. Maybe I don't know what happened.
Maybe it's related. I'm not sure, but maybe it's related.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There are more people sharing the internet in the house, so depends on their rules too.
Yes.
So the internet is good, but it's a lot of people. There are people streaming Netflix and stuff like that. So
the update is done, I think. So Jasper's now finally champion.
Yes, the post-race update is done. I finished 39th. You beat me, Jan.
And I finished with 49.9 million. I'm happy with that.
Cool.
And
that's good planning.
Yeah, actually, it's more like random. But actually, this was good. I finished 33rd, so I got 2 aggro. Never mind. Some increase on that.
Yes, I missed the +2 aggro last race. I finished 30th.
You can't train your driver during the season break. He prefers to stay at home with his family. I remember that once a topic was created where someone wanted to pay his driver a few million extra and therefore torture him all the season break. So now I need to congratulate Jesper officially in the tweet. So now let's check who has won Max Top 10 and who has won Elite Betting Game. not sure. Yeah, it gets updated right away.
I'm unsure.
Next top 10, I think so.
I think Max Top 10 updates automatically, yes.
Yeah,
But
George has won it. George Slater. He got the top 4 correct and himself in 5th. He finished so he got the first 4 completely correct, and he then only had him and Juk the wrong way around, and he got Lee correct. If he would have switched himself and Juk, then he would have had all top 7 exactly correct, which is pretty good.
pretty impressive, yes.
I think I've never seen 1,430, and I'm pretty much I'm 45th, but I put Roland in first, so that already, if you don't have the first place correct, then you can already forget it. So now let's check Elite Betting Game.
I don't know if that updates automatically.
I think it does. Yeah, it's up to date. It has been won by Vladimir Valis from Amateur 85.
Oh, Vladimir Valis, congratulations to him. I don't know if he's watching the streaming. Vladimir
He has
Valis
been very
is
dominant. He had almost 250 points more than second place. That's impressive. He had 1,202 points, and Rafael Marquez in second from Pro 2 had 968, so they probably gave up a few races to go. Oh yeah, and I see the Wayne Can Race topic has been bumped already.
When can race?
We went to the qualifying watch. Those are the insiders in the G-Pro community. So given the race update has been done, I think there is no reason for people to having to watch us. So
Yes, maybe
it's time to see us next season. And maybe with Jasper in the mix. Yeah. The Pedro, you liked it?
Yes, I liked it.
Wanna be back in the future?
Yes, just to watch live because I don't have much opinions to. I have opinions, but not many things to discuss with you. You are another level, but you get something that you will use in the future for sure.
Well, you're missing the opportunity to ask questions too, because you could very well ask questions of
yes,
that interest you. And you have a former champion like Jan to answer.
Yes, but I have a lot of questions.
You have lots of questions and you can ask them during the streaming.
Yes, I have to put write them down to ask just a couple or something. The game is huge, so there is a lot to find out. I'm on something like the weather, the tires, and the fuel. You need data basically, and the data gets a bit out of date. Depend, you don't drive the same way. You don't have the same driver. The weather change, so we need to collect data. I have 33 races now, so I can estimate some things, others not. Others is get. But I learned about the tires today. I didn't have to ask anything. You were discussing about the type of tires and prices and temperatures and stuff. So you don't need like the other stream. I just watch a bit, but I learn a lot. Not that people told details, but spoke about issues that I never thought about before. So that
That was interesting.
raises questions that you look for answers. But I'm not going to ask, oh, how do I do to achieve this or something. You can do that in the forums. You can read in the forums also between the lines. Uh, and the more you know about the game, the better you can read those
Those
undetailed
things.
undetailed things, and or test yourself, for example, with a case to test something that arose a question. So you will look for an answer or a part of an answer. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect from this, but yeah, I can ask a question.
Well,
Answer
very
about
very
rookie,
happy
but you
that
know you know my stance about the rookies. I like the hooks actually because I think I'm not going to have much fun in the levels above, but I might be wrong.
no,
The
that's
only
that's
thing
not the
about the hook,
attitude.
uh, no, I have an attitude. I'm sorry, but I
That's
have an
not the
attitude.
attitude.
Uh,
That's what I
No,
was telling you
no.
last
If I,
time.
I go there and not enjoy, I will speak. I go to the forums and I'll speak of what I don't like. I fear I won't like 40 cards, but or 38 because not everybody rates. It will look like a very crowded track, but I will have to adapt. You adapt or you die. uh, no, I like this kind of games. It's not the first. Uh, so there is still a challenge, but there are some things that for example, I'm not going to keep my driver because it's the rules, but the rules about the driver and the resets are written in the guide, in the noob's guide, in the wiki. We have to read the 3 or 4 documents just to have the complete idea about a feature or even that can be complicated, but I don't know if in Hook is possible to have a driver for 3 seasons, but I don't think it's possible, even if you sign before he has the
I
limits
have
of the OA. I don't
if
know now.
if
I
you
don't know
sign a
if I
driver
have a
with low
driver.
enough away. I
I will see, but
remember
I have options already.
I remember an
But it's
emblematic
something
case.
that you should know with a simple sentence or two or a paragraph, and not read 3 or 4 documents. One about the rules, one about some. Of
The frequently asked questions.
course, people find strange that I say the game is harder now. It's all the rules that were written over time. It's all the features that were introduced over time. So it gets harder, but a rookie starts with all that in front of him, all the documentation. Nobody's going to read the wiki in the first race, before the first race, or maybe not even before the second. I didn't read. I read the what I think was essential. I left many things for later because I don't need to know about
I did
sponsors
read
in
all
my
the
first race.
rules
If
and
I
all the
don't have
material
sponsor,
before my
okay,
first race.
after the race, what about sponsors? But I don't know. I had a tough beginning. I think many people have enough to quit. So I start to believe it's a niche game, and if it's a niche game, you can't expect to have a big growth in the game because not everybody is willing to spend as much time to do a good race unless many people go, I'm just here for fun, and it's okay. You can keep those people. They get to amateur, they don't go up, but they are managers. They are Formula 1 managers. They are enjoying. They go up and down to rookie and back to amateur. But maybe that's their goal. Just have a couple of races a week. and every fun. Other people want to be champions in elite. Of course, I would like, but I don't make that a goal, ultimate goal, really. So if the game wants to grow, and the rookie is the entrance, is the entry point. I mean, you don't get you don't choose. I want to start in elite just to see. You get in a rookie if you don't like you you don't. In some games you can start with Manchester United or something. Of course, you are going to be fired if you don't know. You never play the game. You pick a big team. You are fired because you don't win the games. So I think there is some work to do at rookie level to retain the new users, the new managers. I think many quit because they don't understand. It's hard. I don't know. I know
Yes,
that the
well,
game is not
that
for
has been
all. There
a
are
matter of
other
discussion
games like
for
this, not
ages.
with the race like this. It's the main asset of this game is the life race for me. For others, it may be the calculations, but for me, it's watching the race. Of course, I like to do the rest too. But many people just want to put some tires and fuel and race, and maybe in 5 seasons I get to amateur because I read the forums enough. They are not in a rush, and they just want to watch the race. And there are these people because I see them in 2 seasons in rookie. They don't progress much, and they keep playing because they are enjoying for sure. They are not suffering. Yeah.
Well, I think that maybe
Ui,
we
I lost
can.
my sound.
Did you lose the sound? I was trying to introduce a concept.
Yeah,
I think that we might have a better chance to retain rookies and a big portion of players the days that the private leagues are introduced. But Vlad said that project is on hold for now because, of course, he's not staffed enough
yes, I
to
understand that.
develop the
Yeah,
to
there is
develop
the
the
stuff.
project.
Yeah, this is a big project, a big enterprise, to say so. So it takes people, and yeah, I understand that.
It's a
But
pity that we lost Juka.
yes, I heard something about someone who left, but yeah, uh,
He was a very big contributor to the administrators team. And it's not easy to develop another administrator,
yeah,
You need to have the skills, the motivation,
yes,
and understand what the game is about. So the chances to recruit another manager to become an administrator are pretty low. We had a few players becoming administrators in the past, but it's the exception, not the rule. We had
yeah,
Christian Jorga, we had Chris Williams, and we had Yuka. Those were the three cases where Shipro managers became administrators because they had a particular skill set that
hmm
made
yes,
them. Raymond's. Oh well, I highlighted the message from Raymond's. That's the record for the max top 10. Jan, you were asking if someone had scored over 1,430 points, and Raymond says that at season 24, Jose Paula Villaudi did it. And Raymond is asking why Shuka left. He was basically stressed. He
I
didn't
think he
feel
got a lot
comfortable.
of critics for his PHJ, and I think he is a bit sensible. And I don't know if real life was going so well for him, because I often felt like he wasn't so happy with life.
No, he actually made a statement at the forum talking about his personal life not going very well. He was honest about it.
And then I think that there must be something maybe within the admin team, I think, because I remember he just left with a post, bye, was nice, and didn't wrote anything. And I think
Steph is
this would,
jealous here. He says he was also a manager before I became an admin. That's not true, Stefan. You joined the G-Pro as an admin. You were a manager at another game, not at G-Pro. Look at the jealous guy here. He wasn't mentioned. But yes, Yuka was not having a good personal moment, and he was overly stressed and dealing with some negativity at the forums at the time regarding the changes he promoted into the game was a bit too much for him.
He also gave a bit too much away there, I think. I remember getting a lot of info from that raging tweet.
Beta Season 5 and 6, come on, Steph. You were recruited to be part of the crew from the very beginning. Of course, you were at the beta, so were many others.
Would be really cool if Stefan could join our meeting. That would be really interesting, I think. Some of the admins that could talk a bit about the game.
So you mean this is a part of the history I didn't have quite right. I understood that he was recruited to be an administrator from the moment he joined, but he was brainwashed to become an administrator.
How did they get you on the G-Pro crew?
He was brainwashed.
How did you end up being on the G-Pro crew?
Who, me?
Flo? Yeah, or at least, well, you're some part of the crew I see in the forums. Or you've been... How did you become that?
Well, it was when the driver's faces were introduced to the game. I started contributing with the crew with the driver faces. And after that, I was recruited to help with some tasks that were needed at the moment. That was the main task that I was performing at that moment, was approving accounts. Especially because I was at a different time zone, and it was a good thing to have someone approving accounts when the administrators were sleeping. So that's how it happened. It was
maybe you
fast.
maybe you can do an interview with Stefan or with Vlad.
I don't know. A written interview, or you mean here? You can be there too.
Like you did on Maxime.
With Maxime, a special feature. You are also a host, so you can do it too.
Yeah, we could also accumulate questions from the community. Maybe if someone has time to join. I think that wouldn't be...
Stefan says he's in bed already. But Stefan, are you willing to do a special feature someday? Not necessarily today, but if we pick a date and time that you can do it, it can be even a different day that there's no race, but we can set up a special streaming for it, and we can have a special feature with you. Come on, it would be a great interview.
I can also offer to do it in German with you and then talk over it like in this cheap TV productions.
Oh, his English is decent enough.
I think this shouldn't be the problem. But
It
I
wouldn't
think
be a problem.
I'm actually surprised many people don't like to be on stream. If you compare how many people prefer to be watching than compared to be part of the stream, I always feel like uncomfortable if I'm sitting there. I can interact. So for me, it feels a lot more natural to be in the stream than just watching it. But I think more comfortable with watching.
I wish we could do something to attract more people, but I'm unsure what could it be.
Roland.
Yeah, this is my first
Roland.
stream.
The chat more Bavarian, says Stefan.
I don't speak that. The German accent, so, but
I am surprised to have Stefan among the audience tonight. I didn't know he watched this. Maybe it's his first time, I don't know.
he has an eye on us if we deliver a good performance
They
or if he
want to know what bullshit we talk about the admins. That's the point. What the players talk about the admins.
it's like in my dad's work, they have a WhatsApp group with their bosses, and they have the same WhatsApp group where everyone is, just without the bosses. So whenever they
Oh, Stefan says that he joined because we had the crash. I guess that Vlad sent him an emergency SMS.
So this means that Stefan, you have to do all the work when something goes wrong.
I think that it was a particular case that Vlad needed some extra help, but I could be wrong, of course.
The backup was in his computer too, on his disk.
Jasper is afraid that the World Cup broke the post race update script. He provides emotional support for Vlad. Vlad, you can do it. Come on, Vlad. You got this, Vlad.
I once thought about making a GIF back in the days. I don't know if you guys have seen that there is a guy who says that there's a woman who is angry at a man who says you make 500,000 a year and only giving me 30,000, and then the next person, you're getting 30,000, I'm only getting 1,000, and the fourth person, you guys are getting paid. And I was thinking the guy with 500,000 is Vlad, the 30,000 guy is Stefan, the 1,000 guy was Yuka, and the person that is not getting paid at all would be Flo. Are you getting paid by those guys?
What? I'm sorry, I was following the chat.
Are you getting paid very well for your mod activities in the forums?
Moderators don't get paid at all. I don't know if people are aware that most of the crew are volunteers that don't get paid for the jobs.
Yuka probably got a small salary, but everyone
Yuka
else
was an administrator and was a different case. I of course don't know what kind of arrangement he had with Vlad, who is of course the owner of the site. but the non-admin team is a different matter. Paulo Pinto, hello, Paulo, says that it would be great to have Stefan. Yes, I agree, but he's playing hard to get with me.
Seems to be a trend.
So he
Sure,
was.
did you ever ask Vlad? I think he said something he could imagine, but he's very busy.
No, I never had the balls to ask Vlad to have an interview.
I think I once asked him actually when he didn't pay me my money for my championship.
He forgot to send you the prize money.
Yeah, exactly. I gave him like 12 or 13 races. And then I also wrote him if he could imagine, and he said that he generally is not against it, but he's very busy. House, wife, kids, G-Pro job, and so it's probably a bit difficult to get in there. Also playing hard to get.
Yes. It would be a great thing that race time might be not the best moment to get an interview with Vlad, because he's of course trying to monitor if things are going fine. Imagine if we had him on stream during the post race update, the script crash. It would have been a mess.
We can get a live reaction
Yes,
from Vlad to the side crashing.
of course, he needs to have his priorities in order. So first the site, then the extras. Yes, Luca, I was wondering, where have you been all this time? I didn't know that you were a racer. It's good to have you back. Well, Steph, what do you say if you try to find a date in your busy schedule to have an interview? It doesn't need to be on a race day. It can be a different day. Well, maybe it's a good time to finish the streaming. We were about to finish it like 20 minutes ago, and we keep talking. You talk a lot, Jan.
I have now devices that work. All the things that I can never say because my connection always gone.
Has always been messing with you, but now you have working devices, and you can interview the admins yourself too.
I would if they join. I would do that.
As additional host of the show, I think it would be a great thing to have you too. It's not like I want them for myself, you know.
I should get myself a flag then. Where did you get that?
What?
Where did you get that flag of G-Pro?
Yeah,
in the background.
I handcrafted it.
Oh.
What do you think?
I don't know if there is a fan shop.
No, there isn't.
I think you can only get a cap or a pen.
A cap, a t-shirt, a pen, and the memory game.
I was thinking about spending my championship winning money on that and get myself some sleeping clothing or so. But now I think I will just use it for the next seasons.
Well, if you're interested here, here's what you can buy.
It's probably better than the pen for €5.
Oh, I have a pen too.
It was €5. It's gold. And
I see you bought the whole shop.
No, this was a present from the administrators.
Oh, so they basically pay you in fan articles.
employee of the
Because
season.
I have had my rewards, but that doesn't mean I'm paying the salary.
I think what would be cool if there would be maybe some article in the fan shop that you couldn't buy that only G Pro Champion would get, or instead of the money, the flag
The flag. It's
would be in,
a very cool article.
or trophy or something like that, maybe 10, $15. Because I think money, I don't know. I think it would be if you would invest just €25 or so, €30 in some special article, probably would be cooler if there would be something that couldn't be buyable.
Yes, but that would be okay for a first championship. You yourself have to. So the second time you would not get an article, you just get the credits.
You get the second trophy, you line them all up.
In the
Still got some room over here.
some years ago, the champions got T-shirts.
I think back in the past they got a cap or something like that, and then they changed it to 3 seasons of supporter credits.
Yes, that was recent. I think that there's a chance that means have run out of merch. And that's why we had a change of, but the flag matter, it's something that would be interesting, but I never got to visit possible providers because shipping it from Argentina would be a little hard, I believe.
So I will leave the stream now. Yeah. See you next season. Hopefully with some interesting people joining some more in the stream. So yeah, maybe you can get Jesper, or maybe
Jasper, we will schedule to have him, yes. Between race 3 and race 7, we are going to schedule him and have him. As long as he's available, of course, because there's a condition for his availability. But
also if you can convince Stefan or Vlad at your secret G-Pro crew annual meeting, your weekly secret annual G-Pro crew meeting.
I wish I was
in a dark room.
I wish there was such a thing.
all deciding on one big table who's getting the tire puncture.
I wish there was such thing, but I'm not invited, Maybe there is such thing, but I'm not invited to it.
Who would have gotten the tire puncture then?
Oh, but to decide tire punctures, you need to be an administrator.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a moderator.
Do you actually think that Vlad theoretically could give tire punctures? I don't think that's actually possible, that the whole script just runs.
I also trust the administrators, but why not encouraging some conspiracy theories?
Yeah, I don't believe in any conspiracy theories, but it was just, I mean, there's always this running gag going on that Vlad is giving randoms and so I was just thinking, could he if he wanted to? And I think it's actually not that easy to manually do that because the whole script runs at once. So
I agree with that, but there's people that are paranoid enough to believe that.
Better be careful. Long live Vlad.
I'm trying not to piss Stefan too much, but I think it's too late.
Yeah, tire punctures will tell.
Okay, let's finish the streaming, because if we keep talking, we're never going to end it.
I have to eat something too. So next time.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.